friendship could be. My little pony. Until you all shared its magic with me. Big adventure, tons of fun. A beautiful heart, faithful and strong. Sharing kindness, it's an easy feat. And magic makes it all complete. You have mine. Did you know you're all my very best friends?
So it's the pony version of Halloween, which is called Nightmare Night. Spike is dressed as himself, and Twilight is dressed as Star Swirl the Bearded, who does get mentioned again later on in the series. He has yet to make an appearance on the show, but he's been depicted on posters and book covers and such.
Did you even read that book I gave you about obscure unicorn history?
Yeah, Twilight is, of course, the one dressed up as a character that no one else recognizes and has to explain it to everyone.
Oh, you make a fantastic weirdo clown.
Been there, done that. Okay, so there are a whole lot of Easter eggs in this episode in the form of costumes. There's no way I'll catch all of them, but I'll try to get as many as I can. It's a bit iffy, but that one could be Scorpion, or I guess more likely Ermac. Also Cleopatra. Mr. and Mrs. Cake are Raggedy Ann and Andy.
Twilight, look at our hole!
Pinkie Pie is especially weird in this one. I guess it stands to reason that she would not just dress up as something that no one else would, like who dresses up as a chicken for Halloween, but completely become a chicken. For Dash, it's another excuse to pull pranks.
Granny Smith and the
Also, she's dressed as a Shadow Bolt in a reference to the pilot episode, which is appropriate considering what this one is about. I still don't know if Shadow Bolts are a thing that actually exists somewhere or if Nightmare Moon just made them up to mess with Dash.
Howdy, Spike. Hey, Twilight. Nice costume. Thanks, I'm a dragon.
Applejack is a scarecrow, which is unimaginative, but it suits her. Knowing her, she probably just pulled an actual scarecrow out of the cornfield and wore it as a costume. And here's probably the best derpy cameo so far.
Follow our friend Zecora to hear the legend of Nightmare Moon. Her spooky voice might work better if she wasn't dressed like that.
Gotta agree with Spike on that one. That hair is actually a good look for Zecora, minus the spiders.
Listen close, my little dears. I'll tell you where you got your fears.
So here's where they explain what Nightmare Night is. They wear costumes so that Nightmare Moon won't recognize them as ponies and they'd be safe, which is pretty similar to the origins of Halloween. Also, they give some of their candy to Nightmare Moon so that she'll be less hungry and therefore be less likely to eat them.
So she won't return to come eat you!
Also, Zecora is an awesome storyteller. And right on cue, the real Nightmare Moon appears to arrive. I like how Zecora is one of the ones who is running away from the cloaked figure. A little hypocritical there, don't you think? Not really an Easter egg, but that mummy is Lyra. Took me a while to catch that since so much of her is covered. Nice entrance there, Luna.
Citizens of Ponyville!
By the way, Berry Punch is dressed up as Daring Do. Yeah.
A creature of nightmares no longer!
So Luna inadvertently scares everyone away with her bellowing,
Nightmare Moon says she's gonna feast on us all!
which is exacerbated by Pinkie Pie.
Screams of delight is what your princess desires, not screams of terror!
Poor Luna, she's just completely clueless.
Very well then. Be that way. We won't even bother with the traditional royal farewell!
Twilight goes to talk to Luna, who she finds appropriately sitting in the shadow of the Nightmare Moon statue. Seriously, nice symbolism there.
Star Swirl the Bearded. Commendable costume. Now even got the bells right.
And Twilight finally found someone who recognizes her costume.
My actual name is...
Twilight Sparkle.
And Luna also remembers Twilight as being one of those who changed her back from Nightmare Moon with the elements of harmony.
And that was a good thing, right?
But of course, we could not be happier. Is that not clear?
Luna's awesome. Have I not mentioned that? Anyway, it turns out that she sounds like she's yelling because she's speaking in the traditional Royal Canterlot voice, which is something that went out of fashion while she was banished. Twilight thinks that Luna can win everyone over if she can just get used to speaking in a normal tone. So she takes Luna to see Fluttershy, who always spends Nightmare Night hiding in her home. But with a little coaxing, Twilight gets her out.
Charmed.
I know it makes no sense that Fluttershy is afraid of Luna other than the blanket statement that Fluttershy is afraid of everything. Just roll with it for now.
Shall we mimic thy voice?
Okay.
How is this?
Perfect, lesson over.
Am I a terrible person for finding it hilarious whenever bad stuff happens to Fluttershy?
How about now?
Now you're getting it.
And how about now?
Anyway, Luna seems to be getting it now. Unfortunately, it's time for Pinkie Pie to show up and ruin everything.
Nay, children, wait!
So Twilight's next idea is to take her to see Applejack. Does nobody but Twilight remember the events of Friendship is Magic Part 2? Anyway, Applejack basically tells her to just have fun, and if others see her doing that, they'll realize she's okay.
Fun? What is this fun thou speakest of?
Ha! Your princess enjoys this fun!
See, to me, that's just a waste of good pumpkins.
Ha-ha! The fun has been doubled!
Meme.
I ask that thou call us, me, Luna. Hear me, villagers, all of you. Call me Luna.
In any case, things seem to be looking up for Luna. Until Pipsqueak falls into the water while apple bobbing and Luna goes to rescue him, just as Pinkie Pie shows up. By the way, I like Sweetie Belle's vampire costume. Also, I'm pretty sure that's Apple Bloom as the Bride of Frankenstein.
My backside has been gobbled!
'Tis a lie! Thy backside is whole and ungobbled!
I think that might be my favorite line in this whole episode.
Let us join together in fun! What say you to this?
Yeah, Luna has had just about enough. Nope, 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 nope.
Huzzah! How many points do I receive?
All of my nope. Anyway, Luna is mad that they won't let go of Nightmare Moon, so she decides to basically be Nightmare Moon.
We decree that Nightmare Night shall be cancelled forever! The night will last forever!
By the way, I thought this guy was a bad attempt at Quint from Jaws, but apparently it's Bill Murray's character from Life Aquatic, which I hadn't even heard of. I'm not sure who Big Mac is supposed to be, but he looks awesome. But Twilight has the answer.
I'm going to do what I do best. Lecture her!
That is one of her talents, but Luna isn't having any of it. The next plan is to lure Pinkie Pie into a dark alley and attack her.
No squealing or screaming either, okay?
Actually, she's just going to put her lecturing skills to better use.
Pinkie Pie, you remember Princess Luna, right?
Luna tries to make peace with Pinkie, only for Rainbow Dash to pick the perfect moment to scare her off.
Nightmare Moon!
Also, Pinkie lays an egg. But Twilight chases down Pinkie Pie, pins her down, and tells her that Luna is not dangerous.
Well, duh. So why do you keep running away and screaming? Sometimes it's just really fun to be scared. Pinkie Pie, you're a genius. No, I'm not. I'm a chicken.
That's my second favorite line. Also face. Anyway, it turns out that Pinkie Pie has been messing around all this time and wasn't even really scared of Luna. Meanwhile, everyone else is determined to continue their celebration of Nightmare Night.
You don't want Nightmare Moon to gobble you up, do you?
The rainbow wig just kills it for me.
Going by the scrunchy face on that kid, I'm going to guess it still worked on her. Anyway, they leave their offering of candy at the Nightmare Moon statue, but it comes to life and scares them.
That I may just eat it instead of eating you!
Of course, it was just Luna putting on an act as suggested by Twilight, though she's not sure it had the intended effect. Until Pipsqueak tugs on her mane and asks her to come back next year and scare them again.
Child, art thou saying that thou likest me to scare you?
It's really fun.
We shall have to bring Nightmare Night back!
Whoa! You're my favorite princess ever!
A sentiment echoed by probably the majority of the fandom. He hugged her hoof, that was too cute.
Yay!
Luna's like, you kids are weird.
Dear Princess Celestia.
In Twilight's letter, she mentions that she can relate to Luna because she had trouble making friends at first too, which is kind of interesting. Meanwhile, Rainbow Dash is about to prank again, but ends up getting pranked herself by Luna of all ponies. And so ends Luna Eclipsed. I'm not going to ignore the elephant in the room. This episode is technically flawed. It's really weird that none of the main six seem to remember the defeat of Nightmare Moon and the return of Luna at the end of Friendship is Magic except for Twilight. With Pinkie Pie, it's explained that she's just messing around and pretending to be scared. Maybe in the case of Fluttershy, like I said earlier, she's afraid of everything and maybe she's especially jumpy because she hates Nightmare Night. Applejack, though, I'll give her some credit for being less dramatic about it than everyone else and getting over it quickly. But it seems odd that her immediate reaction is to cower in the presence of Luna as if she's Nightmare Moon, after being one of those who helped her to no longer be Nightmare Moon. I guess I'll just chalk it up to early installment weirdness. I think if this were a later episode, the writers would have been more careful about that. There's also the fact that she looks different, and maybe that could be an explanation. She does look more like Nightmare Moon than she did when they last saw her, so maybe that's why they have a bad reaction to seeing her. Speaking of which, there's no in-story reason given for the redesign of Luna. I think the creators just wanted to make her look cool and more like a darker version of Princess Celestia. Lauren Faust has suggested that when the elements turned her back into Luna, she had lost all of her power, and now that some time has passed, she has regained some of it, and that's why she looks different. She just made that up though, since she was less involved with the show by that point and didn't know the real reason for the change. But the fandom has accepted it as canon for the most part. Personally, I am more than fine with the change. Yes, she looked really cute and helpless at the end of Friendship is Magic, and the contrast between that and Nightmare Moon is startling, and that's cool. But I'm glad that she grew up and looks more awesome now. I also like that the creators aren't shying away from making her look a little dark and allowing a character to be one of the protagonists without having to look like them. I think that's a pretty good lesson in avoiding prejudice. That may very well be the reason she got the redesign in the first place. No one would have been afraid of this Luna. In any case, I do love this episode, despite the convenient memory loss of a couple of the characters. It was about freaking time that Luna came back. The show almost seemed to forget about her for an entire season, and she won't be back again until the end of this season. I guess it could be explained that she's taking that time to reintegrate into society and is staying out of the public eye until then. I also love how quirky she is with her Shakespearean talk. Unfortunately, by the next time we see her, she is speaking normally. I really wish they'd kept the old-timey lingo, at least as an occasional quirk, but there's no sign of it after this episode. Another complaint I've heard about this episode is that it has the same lesson as Bridal Gossip, but it's presented in such a different way that I don't mind. Besides, sometimes it takes more than one attempt for a lesson to really sink in. Next up is a rare Sweetie Belle episode, Sisterhood Social. See you then.
Happy Nightmare Night, Granny Smith.
I should have been asleep 5 hours ago.